It's a horrible place to be, but this is where we're at.
Weddings can be costly affairs, but not as much as a divorce can be.
We're talking about somebody I love on the other side. I just can't.
Today, we're dividing up the assets and looking at the most expensive celebrity divorces. Starting with the billion-dollar divorce of all divorces, we have Jeff and MacKenzie Bezos.
Look at what she's done and the way she's done it.
In April 2019, Jeff Bezos, the e-commerce magnate, and his wife of 25 years, Mackenzie Scott, announced their divorce. It's not an understatement to say that the stakes were sky high with Jeff Bezos, listed as the richest man in the world at the time, while also being at the helm of Amazon, the company he founded. With all the troubles that come from processing a divorce, Washington, the state they called home, happens to be one of the 9 states where marital assets are split 50-50. Interestingly, they never signed a prenuptial agreement. Yet, remarkably, the divorce proceedings unfolded largely outside of the public eye. The couple privately negotiated terms. In the end, Scott walked away with an astounding $36 billion, putting her on the list of one of the wealthiest women in the world. While billionaires amassing fortunes often make headlines, Scott gained immediate attention for her philanthropy. By June 2020, she had already donated a staggering $1.7 billion to charitable causes and continues to channel her immense wealth towards social good. Like Jeff and MacKenzie Bezos, whose split involved significant assets and drew worldwide attention, another tech giant and his wife would face a similar situation a couple of years later.
I have responsibility for causing a lot of pain to my family.
Bill and Melinda Gates announced their separation on May 3, 2021. While they had a private separation agreement, the absence of a prenuptial arrangement adds a layer of complexity to the proceedings. While the final divorce settlement was never made public, it's been speculated that Melinda Gates received north of $70 billion.
I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein.
Bill Gates, whose net worth after the divorce Forbes estimates at $104 billion, continues to own 1.34% of Microsoft shares, worth about $20 billion. Despite the couple's separation, they've agreed to stay committed to their joint philanthropic efforts. Their foundation, worth over $40 billion, is a cornerstone in global health initiatives, poverty alleviation, and educational ventures, making it clear that while their marriage has ended, their shared vision for a better world remains unbroken. While the Gates' philanthropic pursuits underscore the complexities of dividing a fortune amassed over decades, another high-stakes divorce at the turn of the 21st century offered its own dramatic tale, not just of wealth, but of love, betrayal, and, well, incredibly swift life changes. In 1999, billionaire media mogul Rupert Murdoch and Anna Torv ended their 32-year marriage in one of the most high-profile and expensive divorces of the time. Murdoch agreed to a staggering $1.7 billion settlement. That's roughly $3 billion in today's money.
He's a generous man.
Just 17 days after finalizing the divorce, Murdoch married 30-year-old Wendy Dung, whom he had met while still married to Torv. The swift remarriage shocked the public and seemed to confirm Torv's allegations that Murdoch's affair with Dung was the reason behind their split.
It's something I couldn't have foreseen, but Dad seems extremely happy.
If Rupert Murdoch and Anna Torv's high-stakes divorce is filled with the complexities of love and money, this prominent couple in Hollywood would find themselves entangled in a similarly intricate web of financial and emotional ties. In one of Hollywood's most high-profile divorces, Mel Gibson and Robin Moore's separation was as dramatic as it was costly. In 2006, the day after Gibson's notorious Malibu arrest, the couple reportedly separated. Moore officially filed for divorce in 2009, citing irreconcilable differences. This came a month after Gibson was spotted with singer-songwriter Oksana Grigorieva, with whom he later had a child. Financially, the divorce settlement was monumental.
Public humiliation on a global scale.
The couple's prenuptial agreement entitled more to half of everything Gibson had earned since they were wed in 1980. People magazine estimated that Moore walked away with approximately $425 million, making it one of the most expensive divorce settlements in Hollywood history, adding layers of emotional intricacy to a divorce already complicated by scandal, infidelity, and public spectacle. Okay, while divorce can be costly, hitting that subscribe button won't cost you a dime. So if it's your first time here, then go ahead and smash it. Our next couple to go from love to litigation are Robert L. Johnson and Sheila Crump. Married for 33 years, from 1969 to 2002, the former couple built the Black Entertainment Television Network, better known as BET, an icon in black media culture. Johnson's revolutionary vision materialized in 1980, and by the time BET was sold to Viacom in 2001, it was valued at a staggering $3 billion. However, the couple's fairy tale narrative had its shadows. In her 2004 account, The Billion-Dollar Bet, Crump revealed that Johnson had a 3-year affair alongside at least one other case of infidelity.
We did have a relationship while we were both married.
The marriage eventually crumbled, ending in divorce and a hefty $400 million settlement. Adding a layer of irony to the tale, Crump later married Judge William T. Newman, the very man who presided over her divorce from Johnson.
An entanglement?
Yes.
Moving to another court, up next is the divorce of one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
I knew what I was getting into when I got married to Michael.
When Michael Jordon married Juanita Vanoy in 1989 during his second season with the Chicago Bulls, it seemed like the quintessential American dream, a marriage sealed in a small but intimate Las Vegas ceremony. Yet, despite the fairy tale beginnings, love couldn't keep them together forever. In 2002, Vanoy filed for divorce, sending shockwaves through both the sporting and entertainment worlds. Surprisingly, the couple opted for reconciliation, leading many to believe that the high-profile duo had weathered the storm. But after 17 years of marriage, the couple decided to split, this time for good. According to People magazine, the separation came as a shock to close friends, especially as Michael and Juanita had been seen together at their son's basketball game just days before the announcement.
It is who I am.
In a joint statement, their lawyers cited that the couple had mutually and amicably ended their marriage, but not before a $168 million divorce settlement was reached. From the basketball court to the golf course, another legendary athlete found his personal life shattered in far more sensational circumstances.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior.
In 2010, the marriage between golf icon Tiger Woods and Elin Nordegren collapsed under the weight of scandal, culminating in a high-stakes divorce settlement. According to reports by the New York Daily News, the payout Nordegren received was reported to be roughly $110 million. The settlement also included ownership of the couple's Windermere home and a child support arrangement. The dissolution followed a dramatic episode in 2009 where Woods crashed his Escalade into a tree near their Florida residence. Soon after, Woods confessed to having multiple affairs, marking the significant downfall of his public image. From the greens of the golf course to the spotlights of Hollywood, the complexities of divorce reach far and wide. Up next, the separation of Steven Spielberg and Amy Irving presents another form of drama, one wrapped in legal entanglements.
You know, I've been very sad in my life. Divorce is something that traumatizes you.
In 1989, a California judge made headlines when he nullified a prenuptial agreement penned on a napkin, awarding Irving $100 million after just 4 years of marriage. That's roughly $246 million in today's dollars. This high-stakes case not only ignited debates on the legalities of prenups, but also raised questions about marital expectations. Irving later told the Los Angeles Times that her marriage felt like a public performance, full of expectations that contradicted her true self. Now, moving from the director's chair to a star in front of the camera, our next story continues to pull back the curtain on Hollywood relationships. The divorce of Harrison Ford and screenwriter Melissa Matheson ended in one of Hollywood's most discussed separations. With their 17-year marriage that began on the set of Apocalypse Now, the couple separated in the year 2000 with rumors of Ford's involvement with a younger woman. The couple finalized their divorce in 2003 with a hefty settlement estimated to be between $85 and $118 million.
Let's not talk about money.
Matheson, famed for writing E.T. the Extraterrestrial, passed away in 2015. The complexities of Hollywood relationships also extends into the music industry, where larger-than-life personalities collide both on and off screen. Let's turn our attention to another headline-grabbing split.
At the September premiere for Guy Ritchie's latest film, Rock'n'Rolla, the pop star showed up late.
In 2008, pop icon Madonna and director Guy Ritchie ended their nearly 8-year marriage, sending off a media frenzy. Ritchie later described the experience as stepping into a soap opera, while Madonna told Newsweek the spark had gone, prompting her to reassess the relationship. Financial details of the divorce became a hot topic, with reports varying on Ritchie's settlement being somewhere between $76 and $92 million. Madonna's publicist confirmed a figure of at least $76 million. Ritchie also received their English country home and a co-owned pub. In the same way that Madonna and Guy Ritchie's breakup spotlighted the challenges of combining love and stardom, our next couple proves that even an idyllic beginning can mask the struggles ahead. Once a picture of young love, Kevin Costner and Cindy Silva met in 1975 at California State University and quickly married, eventually having 4 children. However, 16 years later, their union collapsed. While Costner was winning hearts in hits like Dances with Wolves and The Bodyguard, his own marriage was on shaky ground. Persistent rumors of his infidelity and Silva's distaste for his sensual roles led to a 1994 divorce. Though amicable, the settlement made headlines as Silva received an $80 million settlement, which was a record-breaking amount at the time. This staggering figure is roughly $165 million in today's money. And it seems Kevin Costner isn't so lucky at love. He recently reached an undisclosed divorce settlement with his second wife of 18 years, Christine Baumgartner.
Kevin Costner enters the courthouse through a side door for day 2 of his divorce hearing.
Well, when it comes to costly separations, sometimes it's not just the silver screen that steals the limelight. So do the beats and rhythms of hip-hop, too. After a 24-year marriage, the $100 million divorce settlement between Andre Dr. Dre Young and his ex-wife Nicole Young made waves far beyond their family. With Dre worth an estimated $820 million at the time of their 2020 split, he agreed to a settlement worth more than 10% of his fortune. Nicole, after 24 years and 2 children with Dr. Dre, moves forward with a hefty sum as she leaves the life they shared together.
I suppose I was innocent and naive.
From rap mogul to record executive, we transitioned from one music industry powerhouse to another. The world took note when music executive Scooter Braun filed for divorce from Yael Cohen in July 2021. After 7 years of marriage, the saga finally concluded in September 2022. The divorce was a pop culture moment sealed by Taylor Swift's lyrics in Karma, widely interpreted to be about Braun, who was behind acquiring the rights to her songs.
I wish that maybe you wouldn't do that?
The settlement terms are nothing short of jaw-dropping. Braun, infamous for at one time managing some of the biggest names in the music industry, think Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande, was ordered to pay a staggering $20 million to Cohen as a spousal support buyout. He will also be paying $60,000 a month in child support for their 3 children. Additionally, Cohen will maintain ownership of their $30 million Brentwood family home her 2021 Land Rover Defender, and a curated collection of art pieces. But Braun isn't walking away empty-handed either. He keeps a $65 million LA mansion, a private jet, and an enviable collection of over 100 classic art pieces by luminaries such as Andy Warhol and Jean-Michel Basquiat. Rewinding a decade earlier, another eminent name from the music world made headlines, not for a chart-topping hit, but for another hefty divorce settlement.
I'm hiding, and I'm the one that is abused daily.
In 2008, former member of the iconic band The Beatles, Paul McCartney, and businesswoman Heather Mills decided to part ways. The marriage, which McCartney later referred to as his biggest regret of the decade, culminated in one of the most costly celebrity divorces in history. While Mills initially sought a whopping £125 million as part of the divorce settlement, McCartney offered a comparatively modest £15.8 million. Ultimately, a judge ruled that Mills should be given £24.3 million, roughly the equivalent of $48 million at the time.
I have protected Paul for this long, and I'm trying to protect him, but I am being pushed to the edge.
We now go from the classic melodies of the Beatles to the soulful tunes of the 80s and 90s, and another legendary musician settling a high-stakes breakup. We're talking about the $20 million divorce settlement of Lionel Ritchie and fashion designer Diane Ritchie, who ended their 8-year marriage in 2003. Known for his chart-topping hits and as a judge on American Idol, Lionel Ritchie has had a successful career that has lasted decades. Oftentimes, divorces end in bitterness, but maybe a hefty settlement takes some of the edge off, at least for one of the parties involved. We've got more, so stick around and click on another video. And if you're new to our channel, go ahead and give that subscribe button a tap.